Oscar, it's been a couple weeks since the last game for the boys. Heading into this weekend now against Kansas City, how has preparation been over the last couple weeks, and just having some time in between games to kind of rest, recuperate, and get ready for this final push of the season?
Right, we definitely had a good 2 weeks of work. At the beginning of the first week, we tried to rest a couple of days with the players, and after that amount of games that we had, it was healthy for us just to recover some of them. And then we have dedicated the rest of the time to prepare our next games, especially this one against Kansas. Trying to evaluate what we have done good, what we need to improve, and obviously the strategy for this one game. That's what we have done.
How's kind of preparation just for Kansas City been? What have you kind of seen from them? Obviously, Peter's been in the league. He's been coaching over there for years and years. You kind of understand what he brings to the table, but how do you kind of feel that your team matches up against his team?
Well, we have played twice since we're here in Orlando. We have played twice there in Kansas City, and the team has performed well. Now, as we always say, this is a new story. We see a team with very similar structures that they used to have. They have the same coach. Some of those players were in these games too. Since they are in the other conference, we don't see frequently, but we have prepared. We know how they do things, how they play, how is their model, the intensity that Peter has with his teams all the time, but we prepare. We're going try to sharpen our ways and go there in a very competitive way. Just try to gain those 3 points.
What have you been able to see from, I haven't mispronounced his name, the Norwegian player?
Heine?
Heine. What have you been able to see from him so far in regards to the training, and where do you see him playing in the midfield for you guys?
Right. Heine has been without just a few days since he is still finalizing all his duties with physicals and paperwork. But it seems what we recognize from him while we're scouting, a very technical player, very similar his attitude and his customs or the way he do things to Dagur. I think geographically you may see some patterns there and their culture and the way they approach to the game. So I see a very intentional person with very intelligent and dynamic and compromised. I think our fans are going to like him a lot, as they have done with Dagur, because their professionalism and their commitment with the game.
Was he going to be looked at as a right back then?
No, no, he's a midfielder.
Okay.
He's a midfielder, and the position in the pitch is more as a number 8. Just to tell to the fans, he plays more or less what Cesar does in the field, and could do what Wilders do, but more like Cesar in that position, disregarding the duties on the team.
Profe, bueno, ahora que se ve mucho sub-22, le quería preguntar por un jugador puntual, por Fabián Loyola, porque es un chico que ha hecho mucho en la Academia de Orlando, sub-20 en Chile, en Estados Unidos. ¿Cómo va un proyecto de ese muchacho que también tiene un buen calibre de darle alegría a Orlando City?
Muy bien. Mira que Fabián ha dado un paso hacia adelante. Me parece que esa experiencia internacional que él ha tenido con su selección de Chile le ha servido mucho. Yo lo veo más maduro. Son jóvenes que están ya moldando a la competencia del primer equipo. Ya está siendo más frecuente en las convocatorias para el primer equipo. Y realmente Fabián creo que ha hecho un proceso muy interesante en la academia, en la selección, y no falta sino que nosotros pues lo lancemos y lo dejemos con mucho más tiempo que pueda demostrarlo en la cancha.
You've had Utaro in training since he was drafted. Obviously, the ability to pull players here and there, but now you'll have him available any game you want. How does he factor into your plans down the stretch here?
Right. Jutaro has been training more frequent with us, and now he's signed it, and now we don't need to ask permissions on the league, so we can count on him all the time. Still, I think at this stage of the year, just have that dual duty with the OCB and the first team. I think it's important for Jutaro, trying to help and trying to carry that responsibility that he has with this group. But also now we are using him on the first team, and I think he's every day he's more ready to do it. We are excited to have that talent. That is going to bring very exciting moments for the people.
Other player I want to ask about was Brekalo. You're using Leagues Cup to kind of reintegrate him. I know he's been in and out with the injury that he came with and then going to Slovenia. What did you see from him in those games, and how do you feel he is coming along in his adaptation?
Good. Good news for us to have him after the FIFA date. It's important to have continuity with them. Brekalo has games already, training sections, and now it seems like the game model is not unknown for him. I see him merging with the group, not just in the pitch but outside the pitch too, and then that helps. But also recognize that Rodrigo, the youngsters, and the OCB, the central backs, Tommy, and all of them, but also Robin, they provide us solidness, and then choose two of them or three if we need it. It's going to be comfortable for us, and we will feel with confidence with them. But Brekalo has done good in this part of the year.
Earlier this morning, Duncan's contract was made official. He talked about having the stress of not worrying about that kind of lifted and just being able to focus on soccer. How important is it to have a player like him be with you now with a kind of long-term goal in mind?
Right. It is great for the club. It's great for the organization to provide this line of development to the players. Youngsters that come from the academy and then can be used in the first team and develop there or go to national teams. Second, have these players coming from the college that like Daryl Dike, and these guys can do a bunch of things for the club. But this time with Duncan, I think it's great to have do you want to repeat that thing?
Yeah, let's do that question again.
Just with Duncan having extended signed his
We need to work on that.
just with Duncan signing his contract extension, how important is it to have a player like him be a part of the plans for long term now?
Right, it's great to have Duncan already set with his contract, and we congratulate Duncan. He's very well deserved. But for our fans and the club, I think it's great to have this line of development, not just the guys in the academy, but the guys who come from college. He has been excellent for us, Daryl Dickey and many others that you all know. But with Duncan, just feeling that he's set with the contract I think that's going to fast him his process this end of the year, and we hope that his production too.
When you kind of look at, I guess, your options now for attack, you have Ramiro, who's been on form, Duncan, who's been scoring goals. Then you have Luis Muriel, who's kind of been struggling. I guess as a manager, how do you kind of just factor in all those three players to kind of start helping positively for you guys?
Right. Well, I think one of the things that we have to prioritize as a head coaches and try to have common sense and try to see well. And not all the time we are precise on those decisions, but in this case, I think the three of them have different characteristics, and we have different momentums for them too. we can coordinate those momentos and combine those momentos with what the need of the team is, and also the connectivity that you have within the group. So Ramiro is doing well. I think has been in his best moment of the year. Duncan coming from the Olympics and helping us just to restart again and gluing again with the group. And Luis in his process to adapt into a group. We have 3 strikers there, and Jacqueline as well. That is a player that we can count with too. We have good strikers there, and we feel very proud of that.
Just real quick, I want to ask you about your thoughts on Dax McCarty announcing his retirement. You know, a guy who played for you, an Orlando native. Just if you had any comment on Dax hanging it up.
Dax, well, first that I had a tremendous story with Dax, because I was the one who picked him up in the airport when he landed in Dallas, and I helped him out just to grab his bag, and I saw Dax on just on top of the trail trying to get that, so busy, and I said, this kid is dynamic. And after that, we just had a bunch of stories with a tremendous person and a tremendous player, and even more as a person. So a player that just marked my life in America. He taught me a bunch of things, and he made me a better coach indeed.
Overall, the team injury-wise, is the team healthy right now going into that?
We are healthy. Mason is doing much better. Jacqueline, that had a difficulty in his leg, he's training already with us. So we're good. We're healthy. Something that we have to value from our coaching staff, that and our medical department are doing a terrific job on that part, and it's keeping everybody available. It's great.